Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture on Amazon RDS Relational Database Service. So this lecture will contain all these topics. What is Amazon RDS? Core concepts and how it works. RDS backup and restore. Multi-AZ deployments. Read replicas. Amazon RDS advanced features. AWS service integrations. Multi-AZ versus read replicas. RDS security. Multi-region disaster recovery. Blue-green deployments, RDS proxy, exam tips and gotchas. First topic, what is Amazon RDS? Amazon RDS is a managed relational database service that sets up, operates and scales relational databases in the cloud. It handles all the complex database work so you can focus on your application. RDS handles the heavy lifting for you. This includes software installation, storage configuration, patch management, backups, and failover handling, all of which would otherwise take a lot of your time. You choose only three things: the database engine, the instance size, and the storage type. AWS manages everything else, including patching, backups, high availability, and scaling. The core problem RDS solves is operational burden. Running a production database reliably is hard, and most of that work has nothing to do with your actual application logic. RDS supports 6 database engines. These are MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, and IBM DB2. The first 3 are open source and last 3 are commercial engines. Aurora is MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible and is technically part of the RDS family, but it operates as its own service. Aurora has a completely different storage architecture that is cloud native and distributed, giving it higher throughput than stock MySQL or PostgreSQL. Second topic, core concepts and how it works. The DB instance is the fundamental unit of RDS. It is an isolated database environment running in the cloud with dedicated compute and storage. The instance class defines CPU and memory. There are 3 storage types which are all backed by EBS, Elastic Block Store. RDS offers 3 storage types. General purpose SSD comes in GP2 and GP3 variants, where GP3 lets you provision IOPS, which is input output operations per second, and throughput independently. Provisioned IOPS SSD uses IO1 or IO2 block express for latency sensitive production databases that need guaranteed high IOPS. Magnetic storage still exists but is being deprecated. Every RDS instance lives inside a VPC. A DB subnet group defines which subnets are available and must span at least 2 availability zones. This determines where the primary, standby, and replica instance can be placed. Private subnets are typical, so the database is not internet accessible. Configuration is done through 2 mechanisms. Parameter groups control engine settings like max connections, buffer pool, and SSL, managed through AWS instead of on disk. Default parameter groups cannot be modified, so you create custom ones for changes. Dynamic parameters apply immediately, while static parameters need a reboot. Option groups enable engine-specific features like Oracle Transparent Data Encryption and the MariaDB Audit plugin. Third topic, RDS backup and restore. RDS provides 2 layers of backup protection. These are automated backups and manual snapshots, which together give you strong data recovery options. Automated backups run daily during a configurable backup window. Transaction logs are captured every 5 minutes and stored in Amazon S3. This enables point-in-time recovery to any second within a retention period of 1 to 35 days. Manual snapshots are user-initiated. They persist indefinitely until you explicitly delete them and survive even if the DB instance is removed. Here is the critical detail about restore. Restoring from any backup always creates a new DB instance with a new endpoint. You cannot restore in place, so you must plan DNS or connection string updates accordingly. Fourth topic, multi-AZ deployments. Multi-AZ deployments come in two configurations offered by Amazon RDS. You can choose either a multi-AZ DB instance or a multi-AZ DB cluster based on your needs. The multi-AZ DB instance has one standby replica placed in a separate AZ. It uses synchronous replication at the block level to keep the standby fully in sync with the primary. The standby is not readable. It cannot serve read traffic and exists purely for automatic failover. Typical failover time is 60 to 120 seconds. Next, multi-AZ DB cluster is available only for MySQL and PostgreSQL. It deploys one writer instance with two readable standbys across three AZs. It uses semi-synchronous replication and achieves failover under 35 seconds. Readable standbys in the DB cluster can serve read traffic. They are accessed through a dedicated reader endpoint, letting you scale reads naturally with your high availability setup. Fifth topic, read replicas. Read replicas uses asynchronous replication to create read-only copies of your database. You can have up to 15 replicas in total, and all of them support read-only access. Read replicas offer location flexibility. They can live in the same region for low latency read scaling or across regions for global deployment and reduced read latency for remote users. Any read replica can be promoted to a fully independent standalone instance. This becomes a fully independent database, and it is a common pattern for disaster recovery strategies. Sixth topic is Amazon RDS advanced features. First one, storage auto scaling automatically increases allocated storage when free space drops below 10%. The condition must persist for 5 minutes and 6 hours must have passed since the last modification. Storage scales up only and never scales down. Next one, RDS proxy provides managed connection pooling using transactional level multiplexing. It is essential for Lambda architectures because it prevents connection exhaustion. It also reduces failover impact by keeping connections alive and doing transparent rerouting. Next, blue-green deployments create a synchronized staging environment to test version upgrades, parameter changes, or schema modifications. They provide minimal downtime switchover and are supported for MySQL, MariaDB, and PostgreSQL. RDS Custom provides OS level and database level access. It is for Oracle and SQL Server workloads that need custom patches, third-party agents, or host level configuration that standard RDS does not allow. Additional features include performance insights for wait, events, analysis, and top SQL identification, enhanced monitoring with 1 second OS metrics granularity, configurable maintenance windows for automated patching, and cross-region automated backups with independent retention settings. Seventh topic is AWS service integrations. RDS has deep integration with AWS ecosystem. It must reside inside a VPC, where security groups control which resources can connect to the database. This provides resource-level access control for your data. IAM database authentication is available for MySQL, PostgreSQL, and MariaDB. It uses short-lived tokens issued by IAM instead of storing passwords. This combines identity management with database access control. Secrets Manager manages RDS master credentials and handles automatic rotation. The default rotation cycle is 7 days, which provides secure and centralized credential storage. KMS provides encryption at rest for your database. This encryption decision is made at instance creation and cannot be changed afterward. Once enabled, it is permanent. CloudWatch automatically collects RDS metrics every minute. It also receives database engine logs, including error logs, slow query logs, and audit logs for centralized monitoring. Event Bridge captures RDS events like failovers, snapshot completions, and configuration changes. These events can be routed to targets like Lambda or SNS for automated responses. RDS proxy is especially useful for serverless architectures. It sits between Lambda functions and the database, managing the correction pool and absorbing failover complexity for you. Database Migration Service handles migration to RDS from on-premises or other databases. It provides minimal downtime using full load plus change data capture techniques. S3 integration works directly with some engines. PostgreSQL can import and export data through the AWS S3 extension. Any engine can export snapshots to S3 in Apache Parquet format, which feeds data lakes and downstream analytics. Eighth topic is multi-AZ versus read replicas. So this is the most commonly confused distinction in RDS. Multi-AZ is for high availability and disaster recovery, using automatic standby failover to protect against AZ failures. Read replicas are for read scaling, letting you offload read queries to reduce primary load. Multi-AZ does not improve read performance, and read replicas do not provide automatic failover. They serve completely different purposes, and confusing them is a classic mistake. Ninth topic, RDS security. Network isolation is the first layer of RDS security. Instances run inside a VPC in private subnets, and security groups acts as firewalls that control inbound connections. Only the application tier should have a direct path to the database. Access control operates at two levels. IAM policies govern who can manage RDS resources through the AWS API, such as creating instances or taking snapshots. IAM database authentication governs who can connect to the database engine using short-lived tokens with no passwords needed. This is supported for MySQL, PostgreSQL, and MariaDB. Encryption at rest uses KMS with AES 256 and must be enabled at creation time. You cannot encrypt an existing unencrypted instance directly. The workaround is to take a snapshot, copy it with encryption, and restore. Once encryption is enabled, it cannot be removed, and the KMS key cannot be swapped easily. Encryption in transit uses SSL TLS for connections and can be enforced through parameter groups. Secrets Manager handles automatic credential rotation, and database audit logs can be published to CloudWatch logs. Together, these provide centralized compliance monitoring. 10th topic is multi-region disaster recovery. For multi-region disaster recovery, AWS provides two native cross-region strategies. You can choose either cross-region read replicas or cross-region automated backups based on your needs. First one, cross-region read replicas give you lower recovery point objective and lower recovery time objective. A running replica is always ready and can be promoted to primary quickly. The trade-off is higher cost because you pay for a live instance in the secondary region. Next one, cross-region automated backups are the cheaper option because you only pay for backup storage. However, they carry higher recovery time objective since restoration time scales with database size. Recovery depends on how large your database is. Your decision criteria should be based on tolerance. Consider how much data loss and downtime your application can handle, along with application requirements and the cost versus recovery trade off. 11th topic is blue-green deployments. The purpose of blue-green deployments is to solve zero downtime upgrades. There is no service interruption during switchover, making version upgrades safe and reliable. The workflow has clear steps. Create a green staging environment, apply the major version upgrade or schema change, validate everything works and then switch over. Synchronization happens through logical replication. The green environment stays in sync with blue until cutover, and the final switchover typically completes in under a minute. 12th topic is RDS proxy. RDS proxy is critical for Lambda-heavy workloads. It prevents connection exhaustion by maintaining a warm pool using transaction-level multiplexing, letting many functions share fewer connections. During failover, it keeps client connections alive and reroutes them transparently, avoiding DNS propagation delays entirely. 13th topic is exam tips and gotchas. So first one, multi-AZ is not read scaling. In the DB instance configuration, the standby cannot serve read traffic. If you need to offload reads, you must use read replicas instead. Next, read replicas lag behind the primary. Asynchronous replication means replicas can fall seconds or even minutes behind, especially under heavy write loads. Applications must tolerate eventual consistency. Encryption is a one-way creation time decision. You cannot add encryption later or remove it once enabled. The only workaround is snapshot, then encrypted copy, then restore. Setting backup retention to 0 is destructive. It disables automated backups and point-in-time recovery entirely. It also deletes all existing automated backups immediately, and you cannot set retention to 0 if read replicas exist. RDS Custom has limited engine support. It works only for Oracle and SQL Server. It does not support MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, or DB2. Aurora is not the same as RDS architecturally. Aurora shares the RDS family name but has a completely different architecture. Treat them as related but distinct services when making design decisions. Maintenance windows can cause brief downtime. This can happen even in multi-AZ deployments, especially during major version upgrades. Plan your maintenance windows carefully. IAM database authentication tokens expire after 15 minutes. They are supported only for MySQL, PostgreSQL, and MariaDB. The token is checked only at connection time, and the session persists past the token lifetime once established. And that's all. Thanks for watching.